Good evening, everybody, and welcome to WCFL DolFans Talk. Well, 24 hours ago, and it's draft time. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and bring on my co-host, Mr. Dolphin Winters.
What's going on, brother? How are you today?
Fine and dandy, just like a hurricane to Christmas. Bring on Mr. Johnny O.
I never heard that one before, brother. Happy belated birthday.
Yeah, buddy. Happy birthday.
Thank you, everybody, for the birthday wishes. If you've never heard that one before, then you never saw the movie Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
I did, but it was a long time ago, so yeah.
And Mr. Derek Simmons. How you doing, Derek?
What's up, Derek?
What's up, Derek?
Good evening, y'all. How you doing?
Good, brother. How are you?
Made it home okay?
Yeah. Flight was actually pretty quick coming home.
Nice.
Yeah, it's usually quicker coming back than it is going down for some reason.
Yeah, it was only an hour and a half. It was nice.
Find anything that you like?
Yeah, we found a couple places down by St. Augustine. And it's close to Jess's family, like one literally right in her backyard in a small community. Yeah, we're gonna try to get that hopefully once the stuff. So. But
Well, 24 hours ago, draft time. Who are we going to draft? Are we going to draft a corner?
Who knows?
I think we're going to trenches. I think we're going Mason Graham.
13.
But they're talking about trading up. People are calling already, but I've been seeing.
If they trade up,
trade down.
or trade up, trade down, whatever you want to call it. Jorge Callis, thank you for joining us, brother. I think it'd be stupid for them to trade up. We need all the picks we can get, and here he goes again, going to screw things up by trading up. Whatever.
No, he's not trading up. There's people calling that want to trade up, which means we would go back.
Yeah, right. We're going to get back to like 20th or something.
That's fine as long as we get more picks out of it.
Yeah, and if it's somebody that somebody really wants, get another first rounder for next year.
Right.
But did you see the talk about Ramsey maybe going back to the Rams?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Rams aren't taking his contract.
Oh, no, we're going to end up paying it. You watch.
Yeah. That part.
Yep, and then he's going to ball out because Greer's an idiot and going to pay him 3/4 of the pay. But all I know is we just better not get rid of him before the draft. We need to wait till June 1st because we're going to save $8 million on the cap hit.
Flustered and frustrated right now. It's ridiculous. It's one of those things that damned if we do, damned if we don't. And if we end up trading back, we damn well better trade back and then get some extra picks and pick in the trenches. That's what we need more than anything.
Yeah, we need some second-round picks because that's where some of them guys, some decent guys are. And then what's your guys' thoughts on Zach Wilson being Agent Zero now? That's wild, ain't it?
Next. That's what I think about it. Next.
Yep.
But just the quarterback is zero.
Dude, listen. Right now, the Miami Dolphins got a lot of us really, respectfully so saying this. The Miami Dolphins got a lot of us fucked up if they really think that we're going to sit there and buy this. And I'm like this. We're fans. We love this team. And we will do anything to see this team. But damn it, I don't feel it. I'm not feeling. I'm still watching. I may go to New England. I've already said this to Russell. I may go to New England, but if it's too cold, I'm not going to I'll go to New England and to the sports bar. But I'm not going to freeze my ass off. Right now the Miami Dolphins they got more holes. We should be called the Packers because we got more holes on our damn roster than Swiss cheese. So right now, it's like, and like I said, I'm not saying this because we don't have free agents. I already knew we weren't getting any free agents because we don't have no money to spend. So, Miami, y'all better figure it out, and I hope things work out for the season because a lot of us are not seeing it. I know that for a fact. It's not just us. It's not just us. There's a lot of different podcasters out there that are saying the same things that we're saying.
Yeah, with all that being said, real quick, I want to shout out to Nick Needham and his mom and wish him good luck in Cleveland.
Absolutely. So you're saying we're Finlandia Swiss cheese?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that losing Nick Needham's a big loss, man. I would love to see him re-sign and play for us, but we wait to the last minute and then we screw ourselves.
I don't even think it was a thing even bringing him back to the team, and that's the sad part because I think a lot of us be looking forward to seeing him back next season in a role that could be a starting role for the Miami Dolphins. But they did, business is business, and I really do. I'm going to miss Shannon definitely at the tailgates, and coming down for the games, and I'm definitely going to miss seeing Nick on the field, and I definitely wish him the best and success in the rest of his career, man. I really do.
Hey, I hope Nick balls out and gets a huge contract afterwards. I really do.
I do too.
Yeah, I'd love to see him do real well, and I've never got to meet his mom, but from what all you guys say and a lot of the fans, and when they tailgated, she was an amazing person. So
a beautiful soul, man, beautiful soul.
Kudos to them, and and hopefully he can handle that cold up there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he can. He can adapt quite well.
So.
But like I said, if we would draft Mason Graham, I don't think if we trade down, go back down to towards the end of the first round. I don't know if he'll be there, but there's some other good guys. But yeah, we need because we have so many holes. Though the extra picks would be good. But
unfortunately, Mason Graham will be gone in the first 10 picks.
Well, they all changed it up again. They're all saying Mason Grant for us now. I don't think they really know what's going on.
Listen, they're all talking heads. They can say what they want. Unless you get to sit in 32 different war rooms and understand what they're looking at, what they're looking for, and
I this much. If Mason Graham's available, we damn well better take him.
Yep. I just don't want to see Travis Hunter at New England.
That's what's going to happen. They got the fourth draft. They got the fourth pick in the draft.
Well, everybody's saying that they're going to take him to the Cleveland.
We'll see.
We'll know tomorrow night.
They'll find a way to get us all hyped up and suck us in. You watch.
Crazy Dolphin, I just threw the link up for you.
What's going on, Mr. Pope? Mr. Pope.
What's up, Mr. Pope? Winners, are you going to try to come down to a game this year?
I'm not sure, brother. I'll be honest with you. Right now, like I said, New England looks like it's going to be the only game I might make. But I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you. First, finances comes into play. That's number one. Number two is, like I said, I want to see the makeup of this team. I really do. I want to see all of you guys, of course. That's, most important thing. But I'm like this. I'm not trying to come down and be excited to go to a game and we shit the bed.
Oh, 100%. I agree.
So.
Yeah, it's happened too many times.
Mm-hmm.
Just have to come down and party with us.
Absolutely.
And eat some of Papa Paul's barbecue pulled pork. I'm telling you what. Yeah, buddy. It is amazing. And then it surprised you because he told me what ingredients in it, but I won't say anything because that's his thing. But I was shocked what's in it. But it was amazing at his little get together.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you for showing up. Really appreciate spending time with you and the wife. Can't wait.
Jess really enjoyed herself, you know.
Well, I can't wait to do it some more together with you and the wife and tailgating and everything else.
I wish I would have got to stay a little longer, but being up since 4 a.m., you know, and then driving.
Totally understand.
But so, and then getting to see Charles and a couple of them other guys there, your neighbor and all that, they were all pretty good people.
Yep. Yeah.
Who's he talking about? Papa Smurf?
Yeah. Papa Smurf got here late. He showed up, but somebody's cousin, Michael Winters, decided to not show up, damn asshole. He kept asking me about the party, talking about the party, and then he decides not to show up.
Yeah, you made enough food for an army.
Oh, hell, I cut back on the amount of food I was going to make. That was a small amount of food. I usually make twice as much.
Wow. Yeah, you had a lot there.
It's all good, John. John Vega, thank you for joining us.
Like if we would give up the 13th pick, what do you think you would get? Do you think we would get a first round down the road, depending on what it is, or do you guys think it wouldn't be quite that much?
Well, it depends on what team wants it and what they're willing to give up. I mean, most of the time, if you trade in the first round, you're getting the first round of the following year. So,
right. I mean, if you had to take the option, would you rather take like a couple second and thirds this year and try to get some holes?
I mean, listen, I wouldn't be opposed to drop it back a little and getting another second or, a second and a third this year.
Yeah, so we have 1 second right now, right?
Yeah, but the problem is you got to be careful with that too, because all these guys you draft and let's say you end up with 12 picks and 8 of them make the roster and stay on the roster in 4 years, you got to pay 7 of them because they're only 4-year contracts.
Well, as long as Greer's there, our hometown will be done gone. Unfortunately.
Well, if they do it right, the ones that really prove themselves, they start paying contracts in 3 years and then so on and so forth, or even after 2 years. And step ladder it.
Right.
Somebody's backstage.
Ah, yep. Mr. Polk, how you doing, Mr. Polk?
What's up, Mr. Paul?
What's up, brother? How are you, Mr. Polk?
Good evening, Mr. Polk.
Papa Paul, Dolphin winner, Johnny O, Derek, how's everybody doing?
Good, real good.
Long time no see. Glad you're still above ground and upright.
Yeah, same here. Like I said, have so many homes that I go from one home to another to another and to another. And then there's a couple young guys that have their own podcast, so I try to get on there and show them some support and love. and what have you.
Well, instead of going to all these homes, you need to tell the white to stop kicking you out.
Oh man, yeah. So, but it's good to see you guys. Dolphin winners. I'm with you with the statement you said earlier, and I'm not saying this because I'm not a Miami Dolphins fan, but with what some of the things that's going on, I'm not very. I don't have any hopium for the season coming up,
Right.
and it's not because I'm not a Miami Dolphins fan. I just don't like what I'm seeing.
Not at all. I
Well,
agree 100%.
There's a lot of us that are like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of the Miami Dolphin fan base, it's like, we just gonna go out there, put something out there for 60 minutes and say thanks for coming and thanks for you guys spending your money. Okay, we're out. And you're gonna do that for 17 games during the season because that's exactly what it looks like you're doing to the fan base. You're like, okay, we got your money. We're just going to throw something out there on the field, say that's a product, hear a whole bunch of excuses after the game from the players and coaches, and then they'll just go home into the $1 million homes. I'm just calling it like it is. I'm not sugarcoating the fucking thing. This team that we all spend our money on and we work our asses for and all that, I am not sugarcoating a fucking thing watching the progression of this team. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, I hope we do well tomorrow night. And I will sit there and keep with my word. I don't know shit about college football. I am praying that any gentleman that comes on this team can make a major impact right away. Am I dreaming? Maybe. But that's exactly what we're going to need to be a contender in the AFC East. Because our door is closed. Our door is closed. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Our door is closed. That door that we sit there and put that team together, that team that we put together, the majority of those players are gone. That door is closed. So you got to give me some way, shape, or form of having any optimism to having somewhat of a successful season. And a winning record is not going to do it for me. I need a playoff appearance and a win for it to be somewhat of a successful season. So yeah.
Well,
Yeah. I believe winners. I think what put a lot of us over the top, like that we're going to struggle this season, was the bit. I think everybody was kind of in the middle, but then as soon as that Ramsey news broke that he wanted traded, and it wasn't him. You know what I mean? It wasn't that he wanted to trade. He didn't want more money. That's when there's some serious culture issues there and coaching, and you lost the locker room. I think that put a lot of us over the thing. What do you think about that?
I think that is definitely they interviewed. I don't know if you was on the show. I think you were with us when I was on the show, and they were talking about when Kendall Lamb came to Philadelphia. Kendall Lamb, he said and mentioned that usually when guys are in the team meetings, your phones are silent. Well, phones were ringing in the management meetings, and it would be no issue. And that's a discipline issue. You're allowing the players, or just allowing certain players to just show up anytime or whatever. That's not professionalism. You got to sit there. I'm tired, and the reason why we are who we are is because there's no discipline down there in Miami. And when there's a little bit of discipline, you chase the discipline away, and the discipline to go and win somewhere else. We just seen it. So you just basically saying that the inmates are running the asylum, and you're just allowing everybody to have free reign with no disciplinary actions on what they're doing. It shows on the field. So what are we doing here? Are we just going to sit there and we're gonna continue to root on this team, continue to sit there and be pissed off at them because of their actions? There's no discipline in this organization. There's something internally going on, and you clearly can see that internally it's something going on in that building, which players are even looking and saying, y'all not really serious about winning. Fuck the money. Y'all, I want to win.
Right. And then you can see why, like a lot of our youngsters, they're not getting any better. And then a couple of these guys get released and they go to other teams and they ball out. It's across the board, injuries, and the phones going on locker, no discipline, guys getting hurt, and it's just one thing after another. It's like we almost need that 100% rebuild, but us fans don't want to deal with that because we've dealt with so many rebuilds already. It's like we don't want another one.
Yeah, but they're calling it a soft rebuild. What the hell is a soft rebuild? You're either rebuilding or you're not.
Yeah.
What is a soft rebuild? To me, if you said it was a soft rebuild, it'd be like somebody that was in the playoffs the last couple of years, and they need a couple pieces, so they let some guys go, brought some other guys in. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. We missed the playoffs this year. The 2 years before we were in and lost in the first round. So how the hell is it a soft rebuild? You're either rebuilding or you're not.
Right. And I think Greer put his foot in his mouth, and somebody heard him ever say it, and now he's trying to retract it. And then, like even Papa Paul said too, there's how do we know that or maybe it wasn't Papa Paul, but somebody on the panel was like, how do we don't think that Greer's just trying to put the dagger in it and really make it hard for the next coach or the GM come in? It's
Well, here's the thing. Like I said, I've been to different podcasts, and one common ground that I've seen in other podcasts is this, and also this is how I feel, and I could be wrong for saying it. It starts at the top. It starts with Stephen Ross. If when it comes down to accountability, it starts at the top. If you're Stephen Ross and the people under you not holding the people under you accountable, it's going to go all the way down to the players. It's going to go through the people in the office. It's going to go through your coaches, and it's going to go down into the players. That's why you see not just players that's trying to get out of here, but you also had coaches that came through here and left. And it wasn't because they had issues themselves. It's because they see a culture that's dysfunctional. That's what they're looking at. They're looking at a front office that's dysfunctional. And Dolphin Winners said a good portion of it is that it's all about money and it's not about football.
right.
And then to me also too, you got people who are straight out businessmen that don't know how to make football decisions. And this is what's going on other podcasts. And I agree with it. And again, I'm not putting down my team. I want to see my team win, but it's not going to win if you don't have the CEOs and other people like Garfinkel and Brandon Shaw, all these guys making decisions that you should lead to your GM or your head coach and what you got. Like I said, it's just a dysfunctional front office, and it adds up to not winning, and also players not wanting to come here. You may even have some coaches that don't want to come here. Look at Weaver. Weaver had. I can't say if Weaver was trying to get out of here or not because I don't know. But Weaver they're saying that Weaver has the potential to be a head coach somewhere and what have you. And I'm not saying it's a guarantee because we don't know.
Well,
But,
with Ross not having much, with Ross not having much experience ever owning a team, I mean, I think he's putting the money in. I don't know if we can blame Ross. I mean, John here on the comments, said it pretty good, but how much is an owner? I mean, he's pumping money. We got, you got the best, one of the best, you got A+ per facility. He's pumped a lot of money into the stadium and made some better, investments. I don't know how much it is when you don't have experience with knowing like the GM and know how to get somebody like that. I think that's where I think he needs to find somebody that can get a better GM if Greer can't do it. But I don't know how we could blame it on Ross. I mean, he's just a money guy. It would be like if any of us were all millionaires or billionaires. You can only pump so much money.
You can't blame it on Greer neither. You can't really blame it on Greer. Because
I mean, he's got to run that stuff. He's the boss.
Greer has to run his decision. Steve Ross said it on a video. He says that Greer has to run his decision through the upper office, Garfinkel, Brandon Shores, and they make the decision. So
that's not good. That's where the GM needs to be running stuff like Garfinkel and all that.
Actually, most teams and most people don't understand this. The GM is just a figurehead out there who's like a manager of the team, but the vice president of player personnel makes most of the final decisions, and nobody ever talks about that. Greer is in the middle of the pack. He's got guys above him that he has to run things through. And as far as I'm concerned with Ross is, if you own a $1 billion business, whether it's football or business, you're the one setting the tone. If you're letting your underlings do whatever the hell they want and create an environment, a work environment that isn't conducive for that, that's your fault. You are the big boss.
Exactly.
He needs to get down there and tell Garfinkel and Greer and McDaniel, tighten this ship up, get things going the right way, or I'm getting somebody that can do it. I mean,
Right.
you don't think that Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos just lets people run their company without checking on it and see what's going on? No, they make the rules. This is what I want. This is how I want it. This is what you're going to do. I'm the one that writes your damn paychecks. Do it the way I want.
Right. And make something even similar. I used to work at a school. The principal at that is the person over that at that particular school. Okay, those are up under her. If she don't hold them accountable, that school is not going to run right. You're going to have all kind of issues. So that principal has to stay on top of the assistant principal, the staff, the teachers, the custodians, the cafeteria workers, all of them. Because if either one of them are not doing their job, or they're running the school is not going to stay open for. It's not going to stay open long. It's going to shut down. You're going to have all kind of issues that's going to cause it to shut down. So I'm not. I know running a franchise is not exactly the same, but if you ask me, the structure is almost similar. And just like you just said, Daniel, if I'm Stephen Ross, I'm going to hold people accountable. If you're not doing your job, you got to go. Whether it's Greer, McDaniels, or anybody, if you're not doing your job, if you got to go.
I mean, he owns it. He's the one that writes the checks. He's the one that has the lawyers and the financial people and everything else in the office to make sure he's making money. Well, damn it, get it squared away where the players. A couple of years ago, we were talking about, the players want to come to Miami. They want to sign down here. Now, after a year and a half, and all of a sudden, it doesn't look that way anymore.
Right, and also too, I'm not standing up for Chris Greer because Chris Greer has done some good things. He's also done some bad things that I'm not happy with. But at the end of the day, it starts from the top. We can sit here and
Well,
point the finger. It starts from the top.
I'm going to play devil's advocate though. But would you want an owner that's like Jerry Jones and trying to run the show and still can't keep it together?
Well, no, there's a difference. Jerry Jones wants to be the owner and the general manager and this and that. And no, set your guidelines. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. You go do your job. You keep your job. You don't do your job. You're not going to be here. I'll find somebody else that can do it. But it's got to start at the top. Listen, you can go back. We've been doing this over 2 years now. Go back to watch the early podcasts. I said it before then, and I'll say it now. I think Stephen Ross sucks as an owner. Yeah, he does write big checks and he's opening the pocketbook, but that's it. He doesn't do anything else. He's more concerned with F1. He's more concerned with the tennis facility. He's more concerned with all this other activity that goes on around than he is about the Dolphins.
And that's the sad part. I agree with you there, but we need to get an advisor like, Garfinkel. Why are they not doing their jobs? We need to get to the bottom of this because, I mean, when anything that Ross puts his fingers on has been successful, but the Dolphins, and we got to figure out why. I mean, there's nothing we can do.
Listen, the guy obviously has made millions and billions of dollars doing whatever he's doing, but that's not sports franchise. He's going to make money. He's going to make money on F1 because it's the only thing in town at that point. That is the big race. There's only one race a week for F1, and that week it happens to be in Miami. Yeah, he's going to make money on it. He puts a tennis facility in. He makes a ton of money on that. How about doing stuff, to make sure you have the right people in the right places for the Dolphins?
Yeah, I don't understand. Everything else is super successful. It's like, why can't we need to get somebody in there? And I don't understand why it's taken so long and you're allowing subpar people, if it was my business, I'm paying a bunch of money. Why are we doing this? We're getting subpar average and why? Because we're going to deal with this.
I can explain to you why. People still show up for the game. People still buy tickets. People still pay for parking. He bought the franchise for what was it, $1 billion? It's now worth $5 billion. So in his eyes, hey, that's a success. This thing is worth way more than what I paid for it.
Right. Yeah, it's just frustrating.
Yeah,
It's frustrating when you're a fan of this team, and unfortunately for you, Derek, you didn't get to see it. But when you're my age and Papa Paul and Mr. Polk, we got to see the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. You know, when the team was good and in playoff contention all the time, and you would make it in the playoffs and lose in the first or second round. And Buffalo was in the way in the 90s, and you know we had the greatest pure pocket passer alive that's ever played the game, and you know you had arguably the greatest coach that ever coached the game. And ever since they all left, forget it. It's been a shit show.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
what's up, Shake? How you doing, my man?
You know, if you want to build a fan base for years to come, you got to win. Young kids, I don't care. I didn't grow up in Miami. Winters didn't grow up in Miami or Florida. Derek, you didn't grow up in Florida, but we're all still Dolphins fans. If you want Dolphins fans in generations to come, you got to produce. You got to get playoff wins. You got to, you know, look like you're a Super Bowl contender, whether you make it or not.
Yeah. That's what brings people out.
Yeah, especially being in South Florida, because there's so many transplants down there that not everybody that lives there wants to go to a Dolphins game. It's not like being, you know, in Green Bay where everybody lives and breathes the Packers because that's the only team they have around, or, you know, Detroit, a big city, or San Fran in the Bay Area. You know, these guys, they grew up with it their entire lives, and they're homegrown, and they love their team that's homegrown. For those that are fans from other areas, they get to go to the games. But listen, if Dallas goes 2-15 this year, people ain't going to many games next year.
Not at all.
And it doesn't help that we have two other teams. You know, Jaguars are still slowly building. They're redoing the stadium there. I mean, everybody's excited, and they're terrible. And people in Jacksonville are just like, they're so ready to rock and roll. They're just so used to sucking, it doesn't matter. And I don't get how they did. And then, you know, the Bucs did all right with bringing Brady in and stuff. And
you know what? Jacksonville gets a full stadium almost all the time.
Right.
And because they also do a lot for the people as well.
Yeah, and that's another thing.
Just like a lot of these other stadiums Ron will tell you about, that they do so much more for the fans than they do at our stadium.
Oh, hell yeah. I've been to stadiums all over the country, and the fan experience when you go to another stadium, besides the tailgating, is way better than our stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad. I mean, they do give out some cool stuff, but it's only because the vendors are spending money to get the advertisement. But the Dolphins ain't doing anything besides we got a damn book bag last year or something, or you get a different thing. But like, you know, that son of a bitch was made in China for $2 and turned around and wrote it off for $150. That was just a big tax write off for us.
There, when I was younger, before we had the Dolphin Stadium, we had the Orange Bowl. And back then, I'm gonna tell you something. They cared about the fans. They did all kind of things for the fans. Well, it seemed like since we went from the Orange Bowl to the Dolphin Stadium, and at a little bit after the stadium was built, that's when you start seeing. I mean, it's like a big flip to the point where right now, you know, it's. I mean, I know some people paying thousands of dollars a year for tickets or more.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I mean, I don't go to the game, and not because of that. You know, it just sad. It's sad for me to see that because I'm like I say, I'm down here, man, and I hate to see that because I've seen how it was when we were playing in the Orange Bowl, where the tickets were affordable. You to the point where you had people, you had people who lived around the Orange Bowl, and man, they go out their way to make it so that anybody coming out of town, or if you come to the game in time, you had a place to park if you couldn't find a place to park close to the Orange Bowl. I mean, it's like a family thing, but it's not like that now.
Well, ever since the Robbie family sold the team, it's been slowly downhill.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just feel Ross does not care about the fan experience at all. I went to Baltimore. They have 3 mascot Ravens on the field at all times: Edgar, Allen, and Poe. And they're running all over along the sidelines and the end zones and stuff. You know, we're lucky we even got TD, and that's only because of Allie, because Allie put a post out that went viral, and then all of a sudden TD was back. Where she talked about the fan experience and because she goes to different stadiums and stuff, and it's ridiculous. You go to Miami to see the team, and the fan experience is nothing. Indianapolis last year was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, like I went to a couple Ravens games, and I'm telling you what, yeah, like you said about about the their mascots and the 98 Rock. There's always a bunch of different radio stations down there giving free swag, and it's just the party environment. Everything's better. I got me for the first year when I come in, but I'll tell you, within this being the third year, going on fourth year, it's gotten a little less each time. And then if they go and move away our East 12 and they screw us on that, I can tell you right now we're in trouble. The only thing that's helping Stephen Ross and this Dolphins is because it's cold as shit up in the Northeast or wherever, and Miami's a vacation spot, so why not come down to visit our team, come down, do vacation, and hit a game at the same time? Because if we didn't get that opponent stuff sometimes, I think they would be in trouble. Because we're like a vacation spot. And that's
even last year during the games, they gave out some aprons. Never announced that they were doing it. They had another little flag giveaway. Never announced they were doing it, and they only have like 10,000. You seat 60-something thousand. You're only giving out 10,000 of something. The first 10,000 to enter the stadium. I mean, come on.
Not only that, though. It's not only that, though. They let people take 3, 4, 5 per person instead of 1 per person.
Well, it's because the people giving them out just want to get rid of them. They don't care. They're like, oh, here,
they're getting paid the same amount of money whether they give them to one person or 10 at a time.
But how do you only want 10,000 of something when you seat 60-something thousand people?
Yeah, I was lucky to get the apron. I did get it.
It gives out the full amount of the stadium.
What's that?
Listen,
Go ahead, Shake.
What's going on? One thing about the Dolphin Stadium, they're trying to turn a game where you're supposed to cheer and be wild into fine dining, where all you could do is golf claps.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah,
I went to Baltimore 2 years ago. Their fans stood the entire game, and yet at our game, they put a big thing up there: no standing. Don't block the view of the people sitting behind you. Yeah, what are you kidding me? I'm paying good money to come to a game. If I want to stand, I'm going to stand. I literally have told people behind me, "Go fuck yourself." If you want to sit, go sit in a movie theater. Don't come to a football game.
But Johnny O, that was how it was in the Orange Bowl when the Miami Dolphins played in the Orange Bowl. You had people standing throughout most of the game, and to the point they were doing the wave. They would actually be how should I say, stamping down. Everybody be stamping down to the point where you can feel the vibration going through the Orange Bowl. I mean, that's just how it's like I said, it's just amazing how things have changed. But that's just how things were better back then with the Orange Bowl. Man, I remember going to games. I mean, and if the Dolphins, if the players will score a touch, I mean, you talking about excitement, and you talking about people standing up. You had a lot of that in the Orange Bowl, and then some.
Even the stuff they do up on the big screens. You go to other stadiums. I've said this before. You always see on our big screen the opponent's logo. Go to Baltimore. They don't put the Dolphins up on there. Go to
by the scoreboard. It's only on for just a little bit right there by the scoreboard. That's it.
That's it. They don't flash it up on the big screens. They're not advertising for the other teams. Why do we do it? I went to Houston. They didn't put the Dolphins up on the big screen one time. I was in Indianapolis this year. They didn't put the Dolphins up on the big screen. It was all about Indy and their fans. And hey, get loud when you're on defense. Be quiet when you're on offense. And showing different highlights and stuff during breaks and stuff of just their team, not the other team. It drives me nuts looking up there and you always see the helmet or the logo of the other team up on our big board.
Yeah, that drove me nuts. And that's where it comes back to being a vacation spot. They're trying to get people that are using vacation. And that's where Ross is just trying to make money, and he's, you know what I mean? It's terrible.
Hey, remember when Jason Taylor, there was a dude put a Cowboys banner on the stadium, and Jason Taylor ripped it down?
Yeah.
The Cowboys or Buffaloes?
It was Cowboys.
I do remember though. He walked over and ripped it right down.
We need to get nasty like Brian Cox did back in the day. He walks out Buffalo Stadium and shoots him the bird. We need that nasty back. That's what I want. I just want to see it. Like, if you're not with us, you're not, you know what I mean? Hell with you. You know what I mean? Unless we're in a tailgate and have a good time, you know, and we help people with charities and all that. But once that game starts, you're not a Dolphins fan, hell with you. That's the way it should be. We're too soft.
Ross is more concerned about filling seats, and I've said this before, and we've talked about it. You get there, and the away side of the stadium is almost always filled with the away colors because they allow people to buy season tickets and then resell them to make a profit. And who's buying them? People that live out of town.
I mean, I can't say I'd never sold some tickets, but I always tried to do Dolphins, and then last minute, but we never made any money. That's why our tickets always sold so quick, because we weren't trying to make a killing. We just did a couple bucks enough to pay the fees and call it a day.
No, there's plenty of people that have season tickets on that away side that don't go to one game. They just buy them to resell them to opposing fans.
Yep, and they need to crack down on that.
They won't. They won't, because they're afraid if they do, those seats aren't going to sell, and that side of the stadium is going to be empty.
That's right. That's money.
Well, I mean, they're still going to sell because the opposing fans going to come down, and they're just going to buy them on the single game tickets. But
Yeah.
But I do got to say though, I don't think if Ross didn't put that, the whatever you want to call it, the shade part where the half of the roof or the opening part, if he didn't put that in there, I'm telling you right now, I would not have came down. I would not want to bake in the sun like they did back in the day.
I have.
I did it.
You would look like a lobster when you're done.
I did it one game, and I'll never do it again. Later in the year, it's not bad, but early in the year, man, sitting on that away side, oh my God, is it hot?
Especially the away side. I mean, could you imagine, remember Paul, when we were down there for the home opener last year, real field of 100, what was 110?
Yep.
None of us drank any beer or anything. We were all wanting water because it was so damn hot.
Yep. 2 years ago, it was worse.
Ross has done some good, but it's time, it's time to put up or shut up, you know what I mean, or sell the team. But he's too worried about everything else. But as a businessman, I mean, he's doing the right stuff as a businessman. But
he's been selling off a little bit. The last time he sold 15% to Maris Group, who is a on the U.S. stock market, so you can buy into Maris Group and say you own a percentage of the Dolphins, like I have.
Right.
It might only be 1% of 1%, but I own a part of the Dolphins.
He's got to start doing stuff for the season ticket holders. That's what you know what I mean. Like, we're your diehards, and one book bag or something small for if you got 4 seats. Yeah. It should be like every 2 seats or something, and do a little bit more giveaways.
It should be every seat. It should be every seat. If you pay for 4 season tickets, you should get 4 bags.
Right.
Yeah. Just because your name is on there and you own 4, oh, well, we're only going to give you 1 bag, but I'm paying for 4 seats.
Right. It's just
by the way, Paul,
yeah.
I took a chisel and I chipped away a piece of the stadium. Now I own a part of Hard Rock.
Hey, doesn't matter. Maris Group owns 15% of the Miami Dolphins, and I have stock in the Maris Group, so I don't care what anybody says. I feel I own a percentage of the Dolphins. It might, like I said, it might only be 1% of 1%.
But you own more than the rest of us. We don't own anything at all, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. Let me know how the stockholders meetings go.
I'll be glad to let you know.
Yeah, and also too, I'm not putting down. I'm not speaking about Steve Raw. I'm not putting them down because yes, he's giving us the team the best. What's that? Not gym, but training training, the best training thing for the team to work out. That's one of the best in the country. But like I said, you got to look at the team and try to fix the problems that we have with the team. I mean, yes, he's a good businessman. I mean, he was that before before he became on the CEO of the Miami Dolphins. But what I'm saying is, like I said before, you own the Miami Dolphins franchise. Make sure your franchise runs successfully all the way. I mean, not just with the business part, but with the team part itself. I don't know. It's just sad to see it like this. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to bring no. Again, I'm not bringing no gloom on my
Oh,
team. I want to see my
trust me,
team. I'm
Mr.
tired
Paul.
of seeing my team like
You,
this.
Mr. Polk, you've missed the last quite a few shows, and I've been saying it almost since the season ended. We're going to win 5 or 6 games this year, and that's it.
Me and
I
Johnny
agree.
Boat.
I hate to say that. I agree. I don't like saying it.
I mean, I have it in the back of my mind that could happen, but I want to stay positive and just hope we're all wrong on that. But man,
Oh,
there's
I'm
been it's nervous, man. Like I
They prove us wrong.
but yeah, Johnny, I think you're right. I really do. I think I do think we're going to struggle severely, and we don't fix that line and get somebody in there. Two is going down, and we're done.
Yeah.
I mean, do I think Zach Wilson could probably win us a game or two? Possibly, yes, but it's not our franchise quarterback, and then we're starting all over again. If Tua gets hurt this year, I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna be straight. We have to really start building for the future anyway. And so what we should, like I said, to me, if as far as draft picks and what have you, they need to start drafting players to start looking forward to the future.
Yeah, but the problem is we've been doing that for the last 25 years.
We get them, but we get them,
And
but we're not bringing them. We're not bringing them back. You know what I mean? We're waiting to the last minute and not paying these guys. You could
right,
easily paid. You could have paid Robert Jones and Christian Wilkins. You know what I mean? 2 years in there.
Randy,
They're instead of 3 and
yeah,
4, you could have got them, and we chose not to. The
mhm,
market is growing, and you knew we had all this money out there. You got to make stuff happen,
yeah,
and we're lucky to. I mean, I'm not trying to say it in a bad way, but we're kind of lucky that Bradley Chubbs got hurt and that Phillips got hurt. Because you realize if they were all balling out, they'd be gone too, and we'd be really in trouble. And I don't want to see no guys get hurt because I love Phillips to death. I like Chubbs. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but we would if they were balling out like they were, we wouldn't have them. And that's.
Well, I don't think it's them getting out ahead of the contract because I think they're trying to give him. Chris Greer is trying to give him Timu money. You know what I'm saying? It's like really way under the budget. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times the money that they're offering the player wasn't nowhere near close to what they got on the market. So that's probably why they turned it down because it was like way below what the market is. I can understand, a discount here and there, but I'm talking about low bottom. They low bottom real bad, and that's part of the reason why they don't resign. They didn't resign with us.
Yeah, and then I'll share a story with you guys here. So I got off the plane, got my bags and everything, met a diehard Dolphins fan that lived in close to DC. And he was like, "Man, what's your thoughts?" Because his wife had me on Facebook and everything. So I told him about season ticket. They're like, "Oh wow," and he was like, "Well, do you regret getting Tua?" I said, "No." He goes, "Well, I really wish we got Justin Herbert." I said, "Put up the numbers, even with Tua hurt, he still got better numbers. I mean, so technically, I don't know how you could say go with Justin Herbert because has Herbert won a playoff game yet? No."
Well, see, the hard part with that argument is they go to 2 different teams, 2 different systems, 2 different head coaches. Is McDaniel our head coach if Herbert's here? Maybe not. Maybe it's somebody else. It's always easy to say. And listen, I was not a Tua guy when he got drafted, but I'm going to support him because he wears the team colors. But when we drafted him, I equate it to people like this all the time. You go to a car dealership and they got 2 cars that are pretty damn similar, and one's been in an accident and one hasn't. Which one are you going to buy if they're about the same price?
Right.
Mm.
And when
See,
it wasn't even an
I watched a
accident.
lot of college football and loved watching Tua come in there and just take over and and do the team. And then the hip injury, frustrating. But what hooked up Joe just said in the comments there. He's right. We keep trying to buy people when we get rid of our homegrown talent, and we're struggling with coaching. And I think one of the best pickups we've done in a while is literally having Weaver come in. That's the only one I think that's had a serious background that came from a legit contender team, because it doesn't matter with the Ravens. They can let their coaches go and they still produce. Like Ozzie Newsman knows his shit, and he constantly just keeps bringing people in and training these guys, and he just keeps pumping them out. We need to figure it out.
Yeah, it's been
And
25 years.
Yeah, because the
and
same
another
thing.
thing too, you notice that when they bring in free agents, they give them top dollar. But again,
Yep.
it's with our homegrown talent, they don't want to give them nowhere near. They would give an outside player, and that looks bad. You go, damn, I've been busting my ass for you guys for years, and you guys don't want to give me what you gave that guy who never played a down for this damn team.
Yeah.
Right. We need to stop paying top dollar. You want to come to Miami? You know what I mean? That's fine. You got the weather, you got whatever you want, the clubs, whatever. That needs to be on the back burner. Don't give these guys all this extra money to come down there. You need to come down and work your tail off, enjoy the weather, and help out. But like what we're doing is we're paying all these guys this high dollars. We're turning good players into divas, letting them get away what they want, and then show up to meetings late, and let their phones ring, and we're just causing it until we get somebody that's going to lay the law down. It's just it's they're biting the hand that feeds them.
Well,
It just
what Shake
And
just said is 100% true. Look at Howard. We made him the highest paid corner in the league, and in the following year, bringing another corner, making more money than him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that frustrated him. And then just like this, we make Ramsey the highest paid cornerback, and then we're just going to oh, okay, we're just gonna let you leave. Even though you didn't ask for a trade, you didn't ask for more money. Obviously, we know what the hell's going on. He's basically saying, hell with this shit. The coaching's terrible. Nobody wants to hold accountable. I want to win another damn Super Bowl. He's on a whole different mentality. And you could see his work ethic, the way he came back from the knee injury, still balling out. And then when he was hurt, he was still coaching everybody and doing things. Like we haven't got better with the culture change since the whole fake bully scandal and thing happened.
yeah,
10,
yeah.
12 years ago, or however long it was. We're taking one little step forward and we're taking 20 back every time, one after the other.
I agree 100%.
And it's just like we got to figure this out. Like it's frustrating, But they're going to do something in this draft tomorrow, and I guarantee it. They're going to get me sucked in there again, and I'm going to be ready to go again, and then I'm going to be bitching by the end of September, like what the hell's going on with our team. It's just this damn vicious circle. It's just going to keep going around and around. It's like, when's it going to be enough? Because they keep raising my tickets. It's going to be tough, especially living down there. I'm going to want to go to even more games. And then the biggest thing is, it's really going to turn me off if they move that East 12 and they screw all of us for our big thing. I'm pretty much going now because I met a lot of you guys and Papa Paul and Johnny and Winters and all you guys. Shake, I haven't met you yet. Crazy Dolphin, haven't met you yet. But that's what I look forward to. The party / get together where you drink or not at the beginning of the game, at the end of the game. It's all about the family, And if they take that away, what else do we have? I mean, you got a team that can't win. We can't win a damn playoff game. And then you take away our fun stuff to our family stuff. And, what do we do?
Yep.
That's what's
Listen, I agree 100%. That's the only reason I have season ticket is to go down and see all the people.
yeah. And kudos to and y'all mentioned earlier, kudos to Nick Needham. I was, I'm gonna tell you the truth, and well, I'm not gonna be scared to say it. I was hoping that we'd bring him back because he was undrafted and we grabbed him and he started to progress, but I guess they got their reason for not bringing him back to the team. And congratulations to him. Going to the Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
Yep.
I wish him the best because I really like Nick Needham, and I heard so much about his mom as well. So, good, blessings to you, Nick Needham.
I mean, we had him on the practice squad last year, and then you brought him onto the team, and then still didn't use him when we were struggling. And I know he had a major injury. Don't get me wrong, he had a major injury, but the man balled out the year before he got hurt. And it's like, especially now, we need him more than ever.
Right. That's why I was hoping that we would bring him back. But
right. I'm praying that Cam Smith steps up and some of these other guys, but I mean, how much is Cam Smith learning and doing stuff? If Ramsey, say for example, Ramsey might be the only one on the team that actually really gives a shit in the cornerback room, and if he's gone, his leadership's gone. Who is back there to do anything? You know what I mean? Who's going to be a leader or a voice on that? In the quarterback room. I mean, there's nobody there. There's no leader. And then allowing them to do that, and these people getting away with it, they start getting better. Say maybe Cam Smith balls out this year, and then they want, these guys got to do this. They got to go out and party. They got to have their phones on. Now I'm the playmaker of this team. I'm going to start doing it. And then it just trickles down and just keeps going to the next player. It's like, we got to do something with the culture because we're just allowing it to keep happening. It's time for Stephen Ross to step up and be a dad or a parent, or not know, a mom or a dad. It's time to pull the belt out and get back in the 50s and beat the shit out of the kid.
There you go.
I learned a hell of a long time. My mom used to beat me with brooms and belts and everything, and I turned out to be all right. Well, at least I'm all right.
Same here. I was raised up with that, but not abusively, but in a way to keep you out of trouble.
Exactly. And that could be a fine, touchy line with some people, and I apologize if that, bothered anybody in the cast, but, people handle stuff different, but it's time to put your foot down. Like, it's time to, you've done a lot for the fans and that stuff with, like, making a stadium nice, but it's time to start taking accountability for the team. And, like, it's going to be tough. If we only win 4 or 5 games and we're in the middle of a rebuild, it's going to be tough for me to try to want to keep my tickets. It really is. I say this now, but they'll still find a way to suck me in. But it's just the Ramsey thing put me really over the top. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, that was the dagger. That was the dagger. And
well, when it comes down to it, for me, no matter how bad we might suck, I'm still keeping my season tickets. Something I've always wanted all my life, and when I was finally able to start getting them, I'm keeping them.
I say the same thing too. It was a dream, and it's like a bucket list, and now I got them. It's like, it's gonna be tough.
Hey,
my wife's probably hearing me say that. She's probably like, "Yeah, right. He's full of baloney." And if we moved to Florida and I told my son to get a school in Florida and then I give up my season tickets, she may whoop my ass.
It wouldn't be the first time the Dolphins got whooped by the Bills.
True.
Hey, I'm still.
She might whoop my ass in 2 different ways: watching the Bills win, and then I get my ass beat by my own wife.
Hey! I thought we're converting her.
Yeah, it may happen. It's just going to take a little bit of work, but hey, I already did the first thing. I got her with Dolphins gear on, so that's a start. She'll support anything I do, but yeah, now I get her farther south. We'll make it happen. Gets around all these Dolphins fans and hangs out with all the people you had down there, Papa Paul, and all the women down there. And gets in with gets in with a group of friends. She ain't gonna have a choice.
That's right.
So. What, Jess? She said football sucks.
Not about football. It's about the camaraderie and the family and the friends.
Right. Oh, she talked about that and stuff. She said about the meetups and stuff. We do it right. Just like, up there in Buffalo, they do it right. They know how to get together in the fan base, and that's what brings a lot of us in. That's why, circle back to that, the whole tailgate thing. That scene right there just made me, I was like, all right, I was addicted. I was like,
Well, I am definitely going to be going to the Atlanta Falcons game. I'm going with my brother and my brother-in-law and probably a nephew or two.
I think it'll definitely be tough for me to try to go to any games away with just moving down and stuff. So,
Oh, yeah.
but
You can drive to Atlanta.
true, I could. And then I could go see my brother. I could do that. He lives.
You're closer to Atlanta than I am.
True. You'll be like, I'm coming through. I'm picking you up. You don't have a choice. Be like, you drug me to games that I didn't want to go or couldn't go to. You're going with me. Jump into bed, and then we're just riding down. I'll be like Varsity Blues, being in the back, jumping on there with the Dolphin truck.
And Derek, just so you know, back in the Orange Bowl days too, the tailgate was was great as well, because you had tailgating around the Orange Bowl, and then you had tailgating with the people who lived around the Orange Bowl as well. So man, it was like one giant party.
And there's nothing better than tailgating and being winning and being successful and just kicking teams' asses. That makes it even better. You know what I mean? So I couldn't even imagine what that environment was.
Man,
I've never seen us win, and you know, I mean, I can't even fathom what that would be like. And that's why I try to keep hope. And I'm like, maybe we can do this. You know, maybe it's going to come. You know, and it's just like, let's hope. You know, it's all you can do. And
well, there, I'm gonna say it like this: if we were to win the Orange Bowl this season coming up, and as other people have said it, that they would have to shut Miami down. They would have to shut it down, because believe you me, it's gonna be a lot of people calling sick or this and that, or they would have to shut it down.
And just, you know, these guys, just for the Miami Hurricanes, like, I feel like they got more passion than us. I mean, nothing against us and stuff, but they packed that place. Like,
Especially in the Snellenberger days, when we had Coach Snellenberger over the Hurricanes. Oh man,
Well, even now they pack it, and I mean, part of it is tickets are a hell of a lot cheaper,
right.
and a lot of the tailgating, bro. If you go to the wrong spot, it's nothing but high school and college kids getting hammered. You know,
Right. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't. Them hammering days are getting over. But I said that, and then I was in Jacksonville drinking a half gallon of Kirkland's from Costco's whiskey. But I don't know.
oh, and also too, you're allowed to bring back in Orange Bowl days. You are also allowed sometimes to bring your own food.
well, no stadium does that now, so.
No.
But I will say, being a ticket holder, the chicken tenders are phenomenal down there, and you get it for $11.75 with our season ticket discount. I mean, that wasn't bad. And then the drinks, you get the whole meal. You can get a whole meal for $20 with with a big soda. But I just hope they don't take the refills away. They were talking about it last year. Hopefully, they don't do it this year. But $20 to eat at a stadium, that's pretty damn good. You ain't going to McDonald's without spending $15. You know what I mean? And you're going to a stadium, so I do got to say we're priced pretty good on that. Now the beers, I think we're $11 to $12, which isn't terrible. I mean, if you look up at some of these other places like Tampa or Jacksonville, they're charging almost $20 a beer. So I mean, there is a little perks there.
How's the food at the stadium? Anybody know?
It's pretty good. I'm a big man and I like my food, so I definitely, when I get partying and they pick me up at that time and do a cake stand, I needed something to eat to get me through. And I'm telling you what,
I know.
5 guys picking me up to do a cake stand, they were shocked. And I'll tell you what, I barely made it to the stadium, and I got them chicken tenders and popped 2 ibuprofen, was ready to rock and roll with the Pepsi Zero. I was ready to rock and roll.
You talking about the Daisy Duke boys?
The who?
The young kids in the short shorts that walk around with the keg.
Oh
Yeah. Oh no, I did it down near. It was right by Tailgate Town, and
Okay.
but yeah, it's funny with them. They carry it around everywhere.
Yeah, the chicken tenders is a good price because the wife and I will get one order of that and share it, and it does us both fine.
Right. The burgers are good depending on if they burn it, but I haven't really went around too much. In the Little Caesars pizza or whatever wasn't bad. But I ain't gonna lie, them chicken tenders are pretty daggone good. So,
all right, guys, I've had enough misery for one night. Hopefully Sunday we're not we have something better to talk about.
They're gonna suck us.
Absolutely.
They're gonna suck us in. I'm telling you. You watch. I'm calling it now. They're gonna suck us in. Be prepared, and then we'll be bitching by like the end of September. It's okay. Well, they know what they're doing.
This week, Shake.
Yeah, we're gonna Finn's Tailgate. We're gonna be doing live draft coverage. So if you want the link, Papa Paul, message me and I'll send it to you.
Okay, we'll
Anybody
do.
who wants the link. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Shake, attach me on that. I'd be down to get on that
You
and
can
talk a
send
little
it to
bit.
me too, brother. Please send it to me too.
It'd be an
Okay,
honor to
we'll
get
do,
on
yeah.
there and talk.
Yeah. Just direct message me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
I'll send it to you.
I'll be sitting with Russell because I'm leaving to go to Massachusetts tomorrow morning, so I'll be up there with Russell watching the draft.
Yeah.
So
If you guys get a message or do message Shake, and if you think about me, just give me a thing because I'll be busy tomorrow and I'll probably forget. I forget everything. So, and
Trust me,
Winter,
I'm
have
the
safe
same
travels.
way.
appreciate you, man. Thank
Safe
you.
travels up there with Russell and everything, and and enjoy the draft with your buddy.
Thank you,
Our buddy
Johnny.
too.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Winners,
Fins
enjoy
up,
your
everybody.
vacation. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do.
Uh-oh.
At his age, he can do a lot more than you can do.
I don't know. To hear him talk sometimes, I'm not too sure about that.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you, look, some days I got my days and some days I don't. So it be like that sometimes.
But yeah, everyone out there in Facebook and YouTube world, we appreciate y'all joining us. Peace, love, and fins up, everybody. Y'all have a
Love and fins up,
Peace,
all.
love, fins up, guys.
Later.